talk to you about hormone implants in beef cattle. Right now I'm currently attending Auburn University and I'm studying animal science. Because we are a land-grant university, extension is a huge part of our curriculum. If you don't know what extension means, that means whatever we learn, we're supposed to bring to the people. So if farmers or everyday people have a question, we're supposed to be able to answer it or be able to find the answer. So because of that, I've been really passionate about spreading knowledge when it comes to agriculture, because I feel like today in elementary and high school we learn about everything else, computers, science, math, art, whatnot. We don't really learn anything about farming or agriculture in general. So today I'm going to talk to you about hormones in beef, and I'm going to start out by giving you a very basic introduction on beef production, and then move on to what the hormones do for us, and then the difference between the hormone-treated beef and the non-hormone treated beef. So to start out, the beef production, a couple of vocab terms for you. A heifer is a cow that has not had a calf before. A cow has had a calf before. A steer is a castrated cow, and then a bull is a non-castrated male. And how the beef production starts pretty much is the cow will have a calf, and the calf will stay by the cow's side for the first until it's about 450 to 550 pounds. It'll just be drinking milk, and then most producers after that will send them to a pasture where they'll just eat grass till they're about 18 months old, and then after they're 18 months old they'll be sent to the feedlot until they reach about 1,000 to 1,300 pounds, and then they'll be harvested. The feedlot, what that does is they eat mostly grain and hay, and that'll help make more muscle gains and fat production. And then once they're harvested, then we look at two different kinds of fat. There's intermuscular fat and intramuscular fat. The intermuscular fat is also referred to as marbling. The intermuscular fat, like you can see on that piece of paper, is the fat that surrounds the steak. It's the really thick white stuff. And then the marbling is the fat within the steak that almost form those veins within, and that's the most important fat. We really hate the intermuscular fat, but we love marbling. Marbling is what gives you the flavor of the steak. Whereas we don't like the intermuscular fat because feed cost is one of the most expensive things in farming, and so if we're feeding a cow or cattle, it's going into that intermuscular fat instead of muscle, where we earn money from the muscle, not the intermuscular fat. So how the hormones work is we take a little pellet that goes in a gun, almost like you would use to get your ears pierced, and it goes inside the cattle's ear, and over the next 120 days it releases estrogen usually. However, there's 6 different hormones used. You can use 3 synthetic, which are malingestrol acetate, trenbolone acetate, and zeranol, and then there's 3 natural, which is estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. However, estrogen is used almost all the time. I've never seen them use anything else other than estrogen. But what it does is it changes the metabolism in the cattle so that they produce more muscle and less fat. So that will affect the average daily gain of the cattle. And what the average daily gain is how much in weight they gain per day, which when they're on the hormone replacement, they will their average daily gain will increase by 10 to 20%, which is a lot, which cuts production costs by 5 to 10%, which that's a big difference. So and then one of the issues with the hormones is that because you're producing more muscle and less fat, you have to produce them to a higher weight, or else they won't get that same degree of marbling. And the USDA rates the beef based on the marbling and the degree of maturity. So like a prime steak will be a really young animal that has a ton of marbling. The maturity is based on how tender the steak is, and then also the physiological age of the animal. They look at the bones and tenderness and whatnot to figure that out. And then there's been a lot of research into the different hormones and how they affect the steak. For example, I think a lot of people get confused because they think that a steak that hasn't been treated with hormones doesn't have hormones in it, and that's just not true. Like any animal that you're going to have is going to produce hormones, and that's going to be in their byproducts. So for example, an 8-ounce steak from a non-implanted animal has 3.5 nanograms of estrogen, where a steak from an implanted steer has about 5.1 nanograms of estrogen. In comparison, for other foods, an 8 ounce of milk has 34 nanograms, and an egg has 993 nanograms. So these are common day foods that have way more, and we're all worried about this difference of 1.6 nanograms of estrogen, which really isn't that much, especially when you compare it to how much we have in our bodies. A pre-adolescent female has 54,000 nanograms of estrogen, male 46,000, an adult woman has 480,000 nanograms, and an adult male carries 136,000 nanograms of estrogen. So if you think about it, we carry a lot more, and people are freaking out over this really minuscule amount of hormones. So really, my goal for today was just to give you some basic facts, and when you see all these articles that are making you scared to buy these different products, you really think for yourself and do your own research so that you can make your own opinion for yourself. Thank you. How long was that?
This is a picture of the implant gun that they use to inject the pellets into the cattle's ear. This is another example of a picture showing this girl here injecting the pellet into the ear. This is a really great chart showing all the different levels of estrogen in different products. This fat right here is the intermuscular fat, while these little veins of white are the intramuscular fat or marbling.